it's Jessica. I'm back with another Bramble Fox layout. Today I'm using the Fresh Air Perspective from the May Fox box, and I am using the Fox Dies 20 and 21, which come actually together for a little bit cheaper if you want both of them, and number 22 as well. I'm going to use that binder clip from the top. So I've got my manual die cutting machine here sitting beside me. I'm going to go ahead and prep my paper using some clear gesso by Finnabair. This is the Art Basics Finnabair gesso. I love to use on my papers. I cannot find it in the tube anymore. They used to have it from Michael's. So I'm currently looking for a solution for when that runs out, but I just apply it with my spatula and then let it dry. So here it is dried. It dries fairly quick. Basically the gesso is going to allow me to apply some mixed media to this background and allow some movement within those liquids so that they kind of blend together and it won't warp up my paper as bad. So I've got a thick sheet of cardstock here from Park Lane that I've used for my background, and then I am choosing a few of the pattern papers from the 49 and Market Wherever collection. It's a travel collection. And I'm just ripping a few of these papers to create the focal point for my layout, and then I'll apply some mixed media behind and around it. So I'm just ripping these and tearing up these edges and just ruffling them up with my fingertips on the very edge of them and using my edge distressor on the top side. So I'm going to park it right about there in my layout, and then I've got 3 photos of my little guys playing on some swings at our favorite campground. So I'm going to pop those on top of all of these papers, but I wanted to create kind of this focal point and kind of a little shelf type thing for my photos to actually sit on top of. So I'm just layering up some papers and pulling in some of this orange color that I love from this collection. The colors in this collection are just really, really beautiful. I love these blues and yellows and greens and oranges. That's my jam, and I just love all of these colors. So that's going to be my little shelf per se, and I've just penciled out some lines there for where that's going to sit so that I can just apply some mixed media around that area. I've got some new brushes here that I've ordered from Amazon that I'm trying out. These are just some round watercolor brushes, but they're a little bit bigger. I thought I needed some bigger brushes just to apply this to a bigger space, so I bought these to try out. And the magic really happens when you add water to this. So as you can see, when I first put it on, it doesn't look that great, but when I spray that water on there, it really, really spreads it around and gives it a really cool looking effect and gets it the way that I want it. So I'm just adding water as I go, dabbing up the little pools of color. I don't want it to be super, super bold, so I'm blending out some of the edges with just more water, just kind of taking away the boldness. I want it to be a little bit softer on this one. Usually I do go pretty bold with my mixed media, but I wanted this one to be a little bit softer. So that first color I pulled out was Shimmerz in Peacock's Plume, and then this one is Evergreen. And I'm really actually going to dab most of this green up. I just really wanted to get some of that color variation on there so that it's going to be kind of blended together with the blue in the end, but I just really wanted some variation of color. So I'm just alternating between kind of plopping some on, adding some water, swishing it around, and then also flicking my paintbrush on there to add some splatters. Now, the brush that I'm using is a little bit big for splatters. I will say that. So I chose a smaller one here that I'm trying to add the splatters with, but it's even still a little bit big for my liking, but I just decided to just use it and just try them out on this layout. So next time I'll pull my smaller one in from this set. I think it's like a size 12 that I use for splatter, something like that, but it's a little bit smaller. So these ones are pretty big. I think that one's like an 18, I think, and yeah, they're pretty big. So I've added some golden wheat as well, just to bring in some yellow in there. I really, really love the way that that looks, and I'm trying to pull in the colors of my pattern papers that I used. Then my photos also have a lot of green in them from them playing on the swings, and it's just very green around them. So I wanted to pull in that little bit of green. Here, I'm just going to water down some white acrylic paint and add some splatters. Now, at this point, my mixed media is still a little bit wet, and when you add this to wet mixed media, it creates more of a marbled effect if you are quick to dry it up with your paper towel like that. So that's just a marbled effect, and then when it's a little bit drier, like it's starting to dry now, I'm going to go ahead back in with more white splatters. This is just a Shimmerz splatter. I think it's called Whites of Their Eyes, and then it'll create more of a crisp, nice white splatter when it's a little bit more dry. So I've got that part pretty much done. I'm not going to add anything else to that mixed media. I love the way that that looks, and I think it's going to look great with this on top of here. And I just love that. I think it looks so cute how it's just peeking out on the top and bottom. So I decided to pull out those dies at this point from Bramble Fox. Again, this is number 20 and 21 are these little border dies. You can buy them together as a set for a little bit cheaper, or you can buy them separate if you just want one or the other. So I have purchased all of them, of course, and I've got them here. I just ran a couple of this through my Big Shot machine, and I just wanted to tuck them in the top. I thought they looked really cute and just add a little bit more pop of color up there. I'm going to go ahead and map my photos here with some white cardstock. I just kept them all together in a little strip, and then I'm going to add some layers around them with more papers and embellishments from that 49 and Market collection. I've got my Fresh Air perspective here that I'm going to pop right there on the right side. I didn't really have to think too much about this layout. I just kind of ripped those papers and knew that was going to be my anchor point for these, and everything just kind of went together and pulled into place, which is very nice for me. Created a fairly quick layout for me other than the mixed media part. But as you can see, I'm pretty impatient on waiting for mixed media to dry, and I tend to just go with it and just scrap the things and add things when it's not even completely dry sometimes. So, or I pull out my laminator and I run it through my laminator to smooth it out and dry it at the same time. So I'm very impatient when it comes to those things. So I've got some embellishments here. This is also from the 49 Market Wherever collection. So I decided to layer my photos in this cute little map print, and I'm just tearing the edge of that excess off there at the bottom. So I've just kind of ruffled up that edge. So I pretty much know where I want everything to go at this point. I've got my cute little photos of my guys on the swings playing, and they were just being really silly. And I thought this was just a perfect acrylic piece to use on this layout because they were just enjoying the fresh air, basically. And I really liked that little piece that said more, and I added that to the fresh air because it's like more fresh air, and they just absolutely love playing outside. So it was just perfect. I found these little wordy bits in these embellishments, and I'm going to pop those underneath there. I really liked that globe, but then I was like, no, it doesn't quite look right, and I think I'm going to add a binder clip out of those dies. So this is where I pull in that other set of dies that has little clippies, and I just love this set. I know I'm going to be using this a lot. There's little tag toppers and little clippies, so that is just absolutely perfect and exactly what I was looking for on this layout. So I'm going to add that little guy right there. And I'm going to add some more wordy bits. I find that a lot of these collections have so many word phrases and wordy bits. I find sometimes my layouts are very, very wordy, and that's like the majority of my embellishments. So I try to steer away from that and pull in some other things. So I'm going to pull in some circle elements from this collection, but they are also wordy bits. So then I was like, well, I could pop in these leaves instead, and then we'll get away from some words. So I pulled in these leaves. I cut it apart to actually get two embellishments out of one. So I popped the one leaf up there, and then I'm going to use the excess down here, and I'm just going to stagger it so that it's kind of, that little circle is kind of peeking out in behind there. I've got that geo tag at the top, and I'm going to pop up that middle circle with some, I think I put some foam tape behind it, but now it doesn't look like it. I think I used glue. So anyways, I glued that down, and I like to use the Clear Nouveau Deluxe adhesive for that. I find that it's really holding up very well in my books. And I've got everything kind of laid out here. I just need to basically glue everything down. So the perspective comes with backing on them usually, so just remember to pull that off before you add your adhesive. I've already pulled mine off before I started the layout, so didn't have to worry about that. And then I'm just gluing down the rest of my little word phrases here and my little heart. I'm going to grab some thread at one point and add in here. I'm going to pop down a few more little circle elements. I'll end up putting that thread in behind a couple of those. And yeah, I'm just seeing what else that I can add from this. So this layout came together very easily. It was a pretty simple one for me, but just the mixed media was probably the hardest part of it. But even that came together very quickly. So I really like this one. I think these colors are just absolutely amazing, and I just love, love, love this collection. And this May Fox box is just totally my jam. It has little adventure-y things in it, but yet it's kind of springy at the same time. It just has so much good stuff in it. And the stencil, if you get the Fox Box Plus, is amazing as well. So make sure you check that out. I'll link it below if you want to sign up for that Fox Box subscription. It is a monthly subscription box, so it ships out on, I believe, the 3rd of every month. So then you'll have that in your mailbox. So I'm working with the May one, which is a little bit ahead. That way you can get it ordered. So I'm just threading some thread behind these little circle elements, and then I'm just attaching them down to my layout with this little heart I used Nuvo glue on. That way it would stick down better. But the other ones I'm using some glue dots in medium size, and then I'm just kind of creating a little glue dot sandwich is what I call it. So I put a glue dot on my element, and then I put some thread down, and then I put another glue dot or two to hold it to my actual layout. There behind that leaf, I just added some Nuvo glue there and stuffed some thread in behind there. I like to leave the little tails hang out too. I think they look cute. So at this point, I'm just continuing to add the thread behind my little circle elements, using those glue dots and just finishing up the page at this point. I thought it would have looked really cute with sequins, but I've been using sequins on basically every single layout that I've been doing lately. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to add any sequins to this layout. We're just going to let this mixed media shine, and these little border pieces and things, we're just going to let them have their limelight on this layout. So I'm just adding my date stamp up here using one of these little tab pieces. I popped some Nuvo glue behind it because it didn't seem like it was really wanting to stick down just using my tape runner. So I did add a little bit of Nuvo glue and kind of tapped it down with the tip of my glue. I actually removed the jewel from mine, as you can see, because then it lays flat on my table. So here is the finished layout. I love how this one came together, and my little guy's photos on there, just super cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this process today. I hope we've inspired you to create something, and I will link everything that I used below in case you want to grab anything. Thank you so much for watching, and thanks for being here. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.